Answer Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. Proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. This is more than just a podcast. It is season 13. It's been a long season. It is episode 56. If you haven't listened to our outside broadcast released yesterday, Sunday, go back and listen to it. It's a cracker. It's podcast gold.
Yeah, brilliant.
If you want to hear us slurring, I think I was slurring before, after a first drink. I couldn't even get the "Where are you? What you doing?"
Well, you know, it was sunny.
It was sunny,
and you do like to peak too early.
I do like to peak too early. Yeah. No, good time had by all. Have a listen if you haven't already. Go back and listen to it before this one. Anyway, with me tonight is John. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm at home talking to yous.
Yeah, nearly the end of the season.
It is.
Nigel, aka the Shed Man, will be joining us. He is still on the motorway. He said, "Start without me, and I'll join in later." Probably going to be maybe a two episode. Depends how we get on, and that will mean 3 episodes in a week. Whoa, no, it's not the calm before the storm. What is it? It's before the drought. What's the harvest before the drought?
I don't know, mate.
Before we have a little bit of a summer break.
You can barely speak English, mate. I don't know how you get away with it, honest.
Yeah, true.
But anyway,
later on, I'm going to see how you pronounce our new manager's name, right? Because you won't let me call him J-Lo, will you?
Well, you can call him what you like, but I'm just not joining in. It's just
right. I got this from the internet, right? So it was on YouTube.
So it must be true.
Low-Puh-Teh-Gee. Low-Puh-Teh-Gee. Low-Puh-Teh-Gee.
What do you think?
Well, again, yeah, you do what you like. I just go by what the journalists and everyone else are calling through his career over here, and it's Low-Puh-Teh-Gee. I don't understand.
That's a Spanish accent. Then are they Spanish?
What, Low-Puh-Teh-Gee? Isn't that the English literation of his actual word? I don't know his name. But,
you know, there's this whole Paquetá, Paqueta.
Well, that's been going on for ages now, isn't it?
Yeah, some people still call him Paquetá. Some people call him Paqueta.
Well, I think call him what you like, really, because he's made up the name in the first place. It's actually not actually his name, is it?
No.
That's the name of the area he comes from.
It's the island where he's low betting. Where people he doesn't know.
Well, all his mates I live
do not have bets on his yellow cards. Yeah.
So but I think with Low-Puh-Teh-Gee, you just go with what most people or historically has been called. But hey, each to their own, innit?
Their own, yeah. Anywho, I mean, obviously.
So again, you just have the inability to say anyhow.
Anywho, we're going to briefly talk about the game because obviously we did talk about it, but that's in the sober light of day. It was a great day, wasn't it? We had a real tremendous. The sun was shining. It was David Moyes' last day.
That helps
down
too.
the Ledger building. We had a little bit of food, a little bit of drink. We met Father Chris, who blessed us and blessed the game. We had goals of fun. We had a win. We had goals. We had George Earthy scoring on his sort of second debut. We had the lap appreciation. I called it the lap of honour and I got told off. We had Hammer of the Year. Who knew it would be Gerard Bowen? Jarrod Bowen, sorry. Jarrod Bowen. And
I rest my case.
We had a few drinks afterwards. I mean, it was a great day had by all, and the sun shined for the whole day.
Well, what it was a
Saturday. Sorry,
a 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Okay, well, 3 o'clock Saturday, we know what we can do. Let's just do that." Then.
For those who haven't heard the podcast yet, you gave us an exclusive. that you're going to renew your season ticket. Is that
I
still
am.
the case in the sober light of day?
Well, it was sober light a day then. I was still waiting for my first pint, so yeah, I am going to
Yeah.
renew. I said that. I couldn't face another. We know if anyone's ever taken any interest, I don't really enjoy going to the stadium. I don't really enjoy the whole experience. But
We're going to move you around, though. We're going to move you
football.
around to the
Well,
new chav corner.
yeah. Let's get me round over that side, and let's base ourselves somewhere to have a drink before and after. And that's the old saying that I had from years ago, wasn't it? Always having a good day out, sport by a game of football.
Yeah, no.
You know.
It was the match had everything. I mean, it started off a little bit sadly. We said goodbye to our good friend Hughie Southern. His family came along, his daughter Katie and his nephew Jason, and I think Paige, who saw him. They do the memorial, and it was so sad to see all the West Ham fans we'd lost in this half of the year. So they put all their pictures up, and it was a touching tribute at the end of the season. And Katie, his daughter, said she's got the West Ham bug now. That she'd never really understood the fascination of football, and she was asking about a season ticket. Wants to come next season. And Hughie's brother Eric, older brother Eric, 85, also wants to come and see West Ham. So we're spreading the love, John. We're spreading the love.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
good. Bless them.
let's talk about football. Wasn't the greatest of starts the game, was it?
No, it was a poor start to the game. It was
5 minutes?
It was a poor first half, wasn't it? All round, it was.
I must admit it. I was pissed on the first half, so it didn't really matter, right? So, as you said, I peaked too early, and I consumed quite a lot of rum before kickoff. So that first half was a bit of a blur. Probably wise actually, because they scored on 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
It was a dull half. Let's be honest.
It was lackluster, and
One
it was
shot on target in that half.
I don't know. I mean, it was a continuation of what we've seen recently in the last few games. It was just like lackluster, and they looked uninterested, and they looked like nothing was going to happen. I think everyone was surprised. No Alvarez.
Yeah, although it sort of was right, because I was originally told, and I said on the podcast, an unchanged team, but there wasn't, because James Ward-Prowse came on for Alvarez, which was a bit of a surprise. But maybe, just maybe, it was a Moyes masterclass, because I don't think there's anything to talk about the first half. In the second half, of course, it's James Ward-Prowse on 54 minutes that made the breakthrough. And I know it's an old cliche, but it was a game of
Football.
No, it's a game of
two halves.
Two halves. we're not in tune. We were. You were just winding me up.
I was just like, yes, I was.
But we ended up with, just giving a stat attack, we ended up with 24 shots, 8 of them on target. Luton had 4 shots, 1 on target, so it must have been that one that went in.
Do you think, right, the way Moyes talked about Alvarez after the last game and said like the loss of Rice is the reason and all this?
It was a dig at him. Yeah, I do.
A dig at him and the dropping of him. Do you think he just doesn't like him, or doesn't rate him, or what do you think?
Maybe, but it don't matter anymore, does it? Because he's gone. And James Ward-Prowse, I always liked James Ward-Prowse, and I always say, if he scores this, he had quite a good chance to equal David Beckham's record on the free kick, didn't he? It was just in front of the.
Well, that looks like it's going to take forever. He's been there a whole season now and scored one.
It went over the top, and then it came back, and he took another shot. Kudos took another shot. But look, we didn't have long to wait because Souček. Great goal by Souček to put us ahead on 65 minutes. Who did the assist for Souček?
I don't know, mate. How am I supposed to tell? I can
From
just
where
see
you
little,
were.
yeah, I can just see little purple dots. It's like, but,
And
no, I mean that was a great goal.
it was a
Great
great
goal.
goal.
Yeah.
And, the people who don't like Souček, I mean, he's sort of come, since Declan Rice left, he's had a far better season since Declan Rice left.
Well, without a doubt, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
we'll see whether Alvarez comes back for the last game against Man City. And of course, the big news, and I know when we talked on the outside broadcast, that's a great goal by George Irvin. Do you know what Nigel said? Did you hear that part?
I did. Yeah.
If you call a tap in from 3 feet, a great goal. But, here's a guy, I think he joined West Ham when he was 6. He's a West Ham fan. He comes on, has a few touches, gets knocked out. Saw him stretchered off. He's just recovered from concussion. Comes back on. Very unlike Moyes to actually put the kids on, because he put Urfi on and Casey. Puts him on
Yeah, well,
76
yeah.
minutes. 55. You couldn't make it up. 55 seconds later, he scores a goal courtesy of Mr. Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
also had a good game and should have scored one as well.
yeah, he did have a good opportunity to score. But I think it was a great goal. I think it was his movement, his reading of the game, and him being in the right place at the right time. I was really pleased for him.
But I really wanted Bowen to score, not only because he's in my dream team, but also because he would have set a new record, West Ham record in the Premier League, taking over Paolo Di Canio. He's equaling Paolo Di Canio. I mean, he could do it against Man City, but let's be honest, it's going to be hard.
We can score goals against Man City.
Did
just probably score more than us.
Did you hear what David Moyes said after the game?
No.
We would be lucky to beat their under 14s or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
Humour.
There you go.
But you know what? I mean, I like Luton. I know we're supposed to have an irrational hatred of Luton. I don't really understand. Well, I do know why, but it's a long time ago. But I thought I was a bit sad, if I'm honest. And people shout me down. You might shout me down. I'd rather Nottingham Forest go down than Luton.
Well, that's your opinion.
And
you're entitled to it.
How about you?
No, I mean, I think Forest historically massive club, and it's good to have them up there. But I mean, you got to give their fans credit. They stayed behind.
They did. They fought with the stewards.
Oh yeah, there was a little bit of thing went on there, but the way they were afterwards with their fans, and when their team stayed in front of them for ages. It was to the point I went down to the loo before the old, what do you call it, the old parade at the end.
Lap of appreciation.
Lap of appreciation.
Butter Monkey corrected me when I said it was a lap of honour. He went, "It's a lap of appreciation, Sean." Thanks.
Well, I thought I'd go down and get to the loo and get back up again, which ain't easy where I am, my age. And when I got up there, they were still stood there and all getting a round of applause. I thought.
Yeah. Well, it went on forever. I mean, just to who knew that Bowen would get Hammer of the Year, and obviously got the cup from the supports club. Andy Reid gave that out, and he won top goal scorer of the year. Who knew that? Areola got save of the season, Kudus got goal of the season, and Soufal got players project of the season.
Players of the
players
season?
Project of the season.
What is that?
Does a lot of work for charity.
Charity. Right, okay.
It's like a community project. Which do you know what? He came over to us in West Lower afterwards. It was I like Soufal. He wears his heart on his sleeve.
Oh,
his kids were playing with a bubble machine with Mickey Bubbles bubble machine. Mikey Bubbles.
Well, he strikes you as a genuine person, doesn't he? And he's like. Yeah, there's nothing he does for any reason why West Ham fans shouldn't
Mikel
like him.
Antonio walking around without his family again. Very sad. Very sad. I thought Moyes, I don't know if you saw Moyes, he was a little bit hesitant for our corner. But, I don't know about you upstairs, but we did have a really good chorus, which I did on video and on the podcast, of David Moyes' Clanbrooke Army. It was sung by a good proportion of our section. And then we tried to sing, we've got David Moyes, what is it? We've got, he knows exactly what we need.
Yeah, in the back. No,
Super.
in the back.
We've got
Yeah.
Super David Moyes.
Yeah.
It didn't really get going. And I
Well,
think a few people were reluctant, and including you, to
well, no, that didn't
his
get up
name.
to us. We didn't get any of that going on, really. But as you
Sound
know,
doesn't
it's
travel. Sound
yeah,
doesn't travel.
as you know, it's hard to get anything going.
No, it is. It is.
But when it goes, it goes.
After we scored, I tell you what, as you heard from the outside broadcast, we did sing. It was flat first half, let's be honest. No one sung. You only sing when you're winning, and that is very true of the London Stadium.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, it's sort of tantamount of what you've been seeing for the last how many games. Some people some people would be staying down in the concourse, finishing beers, not being asked to get up in time. Some going down and having beers at half time and not coming back. You know, it's just.
Well, Len, I think as you heard on the outside ball, went down at half past. He was going, I'm going for a beer or even drink alcohol free. He refused to see the lap appreciation. And then, you know what? He wasn't alone. There was a lot of people. I never get it right. Even I go for a pee, like in the game, as you know, people of our age often have to do because we can't go for 45 minutes without a pee, John. And the game's full. People have paid hundreds of pounds often for their season tickets or their tickets. And they're in the bar drinking during the game. It's only 45 minutes per half. And there's always people down there drinking.
But it depends on the game, surely. It's like, you know. But again, that's what football is, isn't it? It's about a day out. It's about a day out as well, you know. But, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, good day had by all, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a good day out. Proper 3 o'clock Saturday.
Yeah.
When we got more of them next season, I guess, unless the TV starts doing what they do.
No, I think we will have a few more Saturdays, and hopefully the supporters club is back, and we have a bit more of a base as well. So we'll have to check that out. We'll have to. We don't know. They haven't quite announced it yet.
Well, we will wait and see.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to mention about the game. Let's talk about the manager. Obviously, I think Nigel said it. You know, bit low key. Didn't do a speech or anything. His post match conference was a little bit, you know, repeating what he said. I came in. I took the club. I think he sort of said, you know, I think now West Ham fans expect Europe every year. Be careful what you wish for. He didn't actually say that. But you know what? He was saying, look how brilliant I am. And the problem that an incoming manager has is, let's be honest, it is going to be hard to do better than he's done, right? It doesn't matter who you are, right? Because you've got to go one better, right? Qualifying for Europe is you know, you've got to win an FA Cup, League Cup, or qualify for Europe, or even get in the Champions League. That's what you've got to do one better, haven't you? And do it consistently.
Well, I think everybody will just be happy with an improved game to watch and challenging for the sort of top half of the table, you know.
Well, let's hope so, because, you know, the doom and gloom merchants will say, well, you've just traded in one David Moyes for another David Moyes. A Spanish David Moyes, who, you know, I don't know if you know, but you probably do because I don't follow it. But apparently, although he got 30 points from 20 games and kept Wolves up, his last game was a 5-0 drubbing. You know, is that true for Wolves or something against Arsenal?
I don't know. I mean, it's again, they probably knew he was off. You know, we'll just have to wait and see, don't we? We've just got to look at it. I mean,
no, he didn't know he was off.
Who didn't know he was
when
off?
He lost 5-0?
What you got to remember is he had it off at the start of the season, didn't he?
He did 2 days before the start of the season when they said they weren't going to back him.
But who was it? Who did he lose to? Arsenal?
Oh, yeah, fuck me. We've got nothing to write home about with that, have we?
Well,
was it Arsenal, though?
Well, I'm not a Wolves fan.
All
so
right. Well, I'll have a look it up. What are you doing, by the way?
I'm in my shed.
There you go. Well, we've just discussed the game. Is there anything you want to say about the game, Nigel, before we move on?
No, I'm sure you've done it. Game of two halves.
Yeah.
Probably put the words, usual Moyes ball was probably the first half description, and fantastic flowing football was the second half.
Yeah.
The first half was
5-0
why
by the-
people were Moyes out. The second half was why people were Moyes in. Take your pick. Argue about it. Who
Arsenal
cares?
5, Wolves 0 on the 28th of May 2023. I think it was the final day of the season.
Yep.
And that Granite guy who got funny enough,
Granit Xhaka.
Granit Xhaka.
who got accused of betting on yellow cards, got 2 of those goals. Couldn't
And
make
he's
it up.
now, where's he now, Sean?
I don't know. Where is he now, John?
Leverkusen.
Oh, is he?
Mm.
Is he banging them in for fun?
Well, he's
Well, he's-
been a big part of their
Yeah.
success.
He's a midfielder, Sean, so he's not a goal scorer. He's who Declan Rice replaced.
It's kind of Arsenal fans sort of on his back for at least one season. They were trying to get him out, weren't they?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Sam Allardyce podcast this week, Nigel? Because I know you like the Sam
This
Allardyce.
week, Sean.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to put in the WhatsApp. I'm glad you finally caught up.
Well,
Sean.
it's only
That's
3
been
days.
knocking,
3 days
been
ago.
knocking around for ages.
It's
That
been
one.
knocking about around for a good week.
3 days ago it got
Yeah,
released on
well,
YouTube. Anyway, I don't know
But
about
the clips were going round
3 days ago.
before
Yeah.
that. Well,
was
no,
released-
well, longer than before 3 days ago, because it weren't released on Saturday, Sean.
All right, it was released on Friday then, I think.
Oh.
Shut him up.
Did you? There's no way I'm going to pronounce his name. The West Ham fan, Sammy
Smozic.
Smozic. Did
Yeah.
you see his bit where he's
Yep.
a season ticket holder, 28 years old?
Yeah.
He scored 33. I've never followed the championship. 33 goals
Yep, that's
for
correct.
Blackburn. Kept them up almost single-handedly.
Don't know about that, but anyway.
Big West Ham fan says, "Come on." He was really saying on that thing, "Come on, Premier League, come and sign me."
Yeah.
Um,
Funny enough, I've always
he's
thought
attacking midfielder, isn't he? He's
I
not
was
a
always thought he was one to look at, without knowing he was a West Ham fan.
season ticket holder from Colchester,
So-
Essex.
I didn't realise all that stuff until I saw the clips of him, and to be honest, he is the type of player. Though age does go against him,
Yeah,
it
so
shouldn't
he's
be a
28.
barrier. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't be a barrier. And he's the type of player that you would think that we should be looking at.
But yeah, it shouldn't be a barrier at all, considering our current striker's 34.
No,
So
But,
you should be willing to
that's
give him
it.
a
Well, he's
punt.
an attacking midfielder, so
Is he? He's not a
yeah,
striker.
he's
no?
not a striker, no.
I mean, whether he can. I mean, the thing is, he's done it. He's done it at Blackburn, and the weird thing about Blackburn is I did follow the Championship. Is the John Dole Thomason was their manager at the start of the season, and they were up there in the playoffs. And then I don't know what it is, but typical Championship, they hit this bad run and they just fell away. But then they sacked Thomason. They sacked him. 'Cause if you remember, Blackburn did. No, it was last season Blackburn beat us in the cup, wasn't it? Anyway, they sacked Thomason this season as they started to slide. As many fans do complain, didn't they, John? That we're on the slide, we should sack the manager. And actually,
After a while,
they became even worse. So the new man came in and couldn't turn it around. And by the end of it, I suppose you could say they were lucky to. They'd had enough points in the bag. But most of that was earned under John Dole Thomason.
who's the new man?
There's a bit of me that, I don't know. It wasn't that John Eustace, was it, that left Birmingham when Birmingham was sixth.
Well, Birmingham was shocking.
Birmingham was sixth. They sacked John Eustace, put Rooney in charge. They then nosedived,
Yeah.
and to the point where they got relegated. You know, look, sacking managers. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Unfortunately for Millwall, it worked. Yeah. Because they looked nailed on to go down until they brought West Ham fan Neil Harris back. And obviously he managed to keep them up.
Say hello to Millwall.
Yeah.
That's what we were singing, weren't we? We were just talking about Luton, and I said I preferred Luton. I know I've got one of my suppliers is in Luton. I go to Luton quite often. They're all Luton fans, so I knew a few Luton fans, and there was that big sort of fairy tale story of them getting up, and I was really hoping they'd survive. I don't know why. I don't like Forest very much. I don't know if it's about the Jesse Lingard or something else, but
I don't know. I think, look, Luton to stay up is always going to be a task. Came up in the playoffs, beating Coventry. So they would have had the hardest job anyway of staying up. And actually, they made a better fist of it as the media darling, Vincent Kompany.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's also spent the less, I think, out of all of the 3 teams. That
yeah. So Burnley want to try and copy this Man City way of playing, and it just goes to show you, if you ain't got the best players in the world, you could look a bit stupid doing that.
Yep.
Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens next season. 3 that have came up have gone down, but obviously the 3 that went down, it looks like 2 of them will come back up. So we know Leicester are coming back up.
Yeah, 0-0 in the 2 playoffs, wasn't it? And no one really wanted.
I'd imagine that it'll be out of Leeds and Southampton, because they were the other 2 that went down last season.
Yeah.
Who comes up? Who joins Ipswich? Ipswich. That's another interesting one. Next season, will they do a Luton as such, or will they manage to stay up? Leicester look like they're coming up with a points deduction.
Yeah.
So
Ipswich have bought into that analytics system that Brentford and Brighton use, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's a strange enough though to go from the Div 1 to the Premier League in 2 seasons. They hung about Div 1 for years and years. This is their first year back in the Championship, I think, for about 5 seasons. So to do what they've done, it's been done before. I think Southampton did it. Funny enough, I think they went from the Div 1 into the Championship and straight up. But Southampton are obviously a better prepared club. It'll be interesting to see what it's.
Who's your tip to come up from the playoffs?
If I was picking out of the 2, I'd go Southampton.
Yeah,
me too. Flynn Downs has said he wouldn't mind to stay. Apparently, comes from Southampton.
Well, I think that if Southampton do come up, then Flynn Downs' people will be having a conversation with West Ham. At the end of the day,
David Moyes and his backroom team thought he wasn't good enough for the Premier League and he was more of a Championship player. Whether the new manager and his new backroom team will take a new look at him remains to be seen.
But that's another side of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got Kira's done well where he's been, and he's been playing regularly, isn't he?
The thing about Kira, and this is the thing, people go, German international, and he is recognised as the worst German defence they've ever had.
Well, it's one of their worst teams they've had for a long time.
Yeah,
so he didn't have some great games for us, John, if you remember.
No.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying what he produced at our place made him like a starter week in, week out. But from what I've read of what he's done where he is, he's been starting all the time and he hasn't disgraced himself at all.
In the French league.
Yeah.
And Ben Rama's been doing all right as well, hasn't he?
In the French league.
Yeah. All right. We're kingmakers, aren't we? We and Spurs are kingmakers. We're the only people that can help Arsenal, assuming, well, I suppose Everton are kingmakers as well, because Arsenal need to play Everton and win that last one, and then either Spurs or West Ham need to get a draw to gift Declan Rice and Arsenal the Premier League.
Well, I think Tottenham are the kingmakers. There's two games. It's tonight's game
Yeah.
and there's tomorrow's game.
Well,
Because
tonight doesn't make any difference, does it?
Oh,
Well,
it
if,
does.
If Villa win,
Yeah.
then they've got the full spot.
All right, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, got ya. Because
So-
then Spurs are down in 5th.
Because Villa's last game is Brighton, is it not? I think. No, sorry. Villa's last game is Crystal Palace away, who have won 6 and drawn 1 of their last 7 games.
Palace
And-
current form's incredible.
Yeah, and Villa's not form is great. Obviously, injuries and player burnout. to be
Excuse
fair.
me.
This has got the hallmarks of Leicester City, who 2 years running spent 3/4 of the season in the top 4, only to finish 5th on the last day of the season. Both
Yeah,
times.
dropped out of the Champions League,
Yeah.
didn't they? That was under what's his name, wasn't it, when they had Rodgers?
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers. So, I like, in a way, I like what Ange Postecoglou said. I don't know if you heard what he said
Yeah.
about the Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
It's a shame he manages Spurs, I think, because, what a fantastic attitude to have. And to point out that real winners,
Have trophies in the cabinet.
have trophies in the cabinet. What a thing to say, a Tottenham manager. Brilliant.
Well, he lost 4 in a
Sorry,
row.
are you
Yeah.
watching the football?
No, I'm not, no.
It's 1 minute in,
Yeah.
and Martinez has just dropped the ball in the goal from a corner.
No.
From a what's his name? The youngster.
What, a back pass?
No, he was a Liverpool player going running down the wing.
Oh, right.
And
Well,
just
not
put-
Harvey Elliott.
Own goal.
Yeah, it's Harvey Elliott. That's it. Harvey Elliott
1-0
running
after 2 minutes.
down the wing,
Wow.
crossed the ball in. Martinez grabbed it and just drops it in the goal. Honestly, you'd suspect there's something iffy gone on there.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, Elliott knocked it in off of Torres's chest.
yeah.
It went, and he had to readjust.
Well, it's,
Shocking.
well, Villa,
Hey, but look, Villa qualified for Champions League, but they couldn't get into the final
Well, they
of
haven't.
Europa Conference
Sean,
League
they haven't
because we
qualified for
are
Champions League.
champions of. Yeah, but they could do. We're champions of Europe, and it just proves it's not that easy to win, as other teams call it, the Mickey Mouse Cup of Europe. Because if it's that easy, then a team like Villa should have walked it this season. So there.
yeah,
I don't know why I'm saying that, but you know.
I mean, it helped. I suppose it helped, our cause as well, that they got beat by a team we put out in
Yeah.
the UEFA Cup.
And obviously then in a final with the team we beat last year.
Yeah. So,
Interesting. I think we could have won it again if we were in this league. Again, if we'd have dropped down.
well, there is that.
I
thing
know
to
if we'd
it,
have
innit?
dropped down from Europa League into Europa Conference League and won it all over again.
Yeah, because obviously we would have took
That was our
Olympiakos'
problem.
place.
That's our problem. We shouldn't have won that group.
Well, that's
That's always been our problem. We're just too good, Sean.
We're just too good.
too good in Europe.
Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Anyway, let's talk about some news. Calvin Phillips is off. He had a calf injury, couldn't play on Saturday. Apparently, he's being sent back to Man City this weekend. We won't be exercising our right to buy him or option to buy him. He can't play against his parent club, so he's basically his unhappy time at West Ham have ended at the same time as before David Moyes. Paquetá, players close to the club to the player say the FA have this until this week to either charge him or drop the case completely. They say there's absolutely no evidence for him whatsoever, and if they do charge him, they sue him as well. So either way, they're saying FA just drop the case and walk away, because obviously they're preparing to hawk him out, and obviously his release clause comes active for 85 million on the 1st of July. Kudos has been widely reported. I don't think we mentioned it last week. He's also got release clause of 85 million, but he doesn't become active till next year. So 1st of July 2025 before he can be sold. Agur, news today or yesterday, Agur still wants out. Apparently it's nothing to do with the manager. He just wants out. I don't know if it's an agent thing or he doesn't like the Premier League, but he wants out this summer. Abona would love a contract, but I'm being told he's unlikely to get one at 35 years old, just turned 35 this month. Unlikely to get another contract, and I'm afraid late games have sort of shown he's a bit slow. There's concern still with Zuma whether he can carry on being our main centre-back with his injury issues, etc. And obviously Cresswell is due to leave, turned down an extension which surprised a lot, many, but he's due to leave and move up north. So I've been told the priorities are, for Tim Steiden, 2 new quality centre-backs and 1 new striker. Whether Antonio leaves or whether Ings leaves, I don't know, but I think it's bring in a new striker, sell one of the existing strikers, let Agur go and bring in 2 quality centre-backs. Now, and a lot of people will say, yeah, but we need a right-back, we need a goalkeeper and everything. And if you add them all up, it's like you need 13 players. If Paquetá goes, and you need a replacement for Paquetá, if Paquetá goes, I think you're looking around the sort of 145 million mark. I think the budget without any sales is probably looking around 60. 30 from Europe and another 30 put in the budget, plus sales.
What do you think we get for Gerd?
I think originally we wanted 30 million for him. I'm not sure the market will bear that. I mean,
Well, look, can you see another Premier League club buying him?
no, I don't think he wants to stay in the Premier League either.
Right, well, there you go. So now we've devalued him by about 8 million quid.
Yeah, I think 2025 if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Where do you think he'll end up then? Just like Saudi or somewhere?
It could end up in Saudi
There or France.
or France, yeah. Where did he come from? I'm trying to remember.
Well,
Sorry, we missed that. We lost you there, Nigel. Morocco, wasn't he? No.
He is. His nationality.
His nationality is Morocco.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from France. It was. Was it Reims? No, it wasn't. Was it? Come on, where was he?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm just going to look it up. Yeah, it was Reims.
There you
Rennes.
Rennes. Yeah.
That's all right. Reins is due for Sean. We had this conversation about
Yeah.
his inability to speak English.
Talking of that, Nigel, I looked up how to pronounce our new manager's name.
Low-Puh-Teh-Gee.
Julen Lopetegui.
Julio Lopetegui.
Julen Lopetegui.
Julio Lopetegui.
Which one's the computer?
Julen Lopetegui.
Julio Lopetegui.
Telly, though. He said they're Telly.
Oh,
J-Lo.
yeah.
So obviously, no one knows the manager has signed, and it's going to be a complete mystery after we finish the season. That we've got a new manager. It's the worst kept secret in football. So please, just between us and etc., because there won't be an official announcement till after David Moyes has left, because respect and all that lot. Johnson as well. Ben Johnson looks like he's off. Looks like he's going to Palace on a free. Doesn't matter. People have asked me, well, does it matter a new manager's coming in? It was never about the manager. It was about being a free agent and the signing on fee and the agent fee, etc. And I'm pretty sure, unless there's a real late change of heart, Mumbama is going to follow him as well. We just get compensation, which is a shame, really.
Where do you think he's end up then?
I don't know. I'm sure he's been tapped up by someone, but I don't really know where he's going, John. But it doesn't smell right. Let's just say that. But you know what? Let's look at George Murphy and and Case. It was good to see those two, and I do hope that Low-Puh-Teh-Gee does play the youth, as we know he was. He managed the youth for the Spanish under 19s and under 20s.
And Madrid.
in Madrid.
Yeah, let's hope so.
But it was nice, wasn't it? In bringing, Moyes bringing on two kids at the end, almost like a fuck you.
When did he bring Casey on? That was really quite late, wasn't it?
It was probably about 80 something, wasn't it? Yeah.
What do you perceive is acceptable for Low-Puh-Teh-Gee in his first season?
Oh, position-wise,
Well, this is the thing.
it's got to be better than top 10, hasn't it? It really does.
Why?
Well, because you can't go backwards. If you're trading up a manager, you can't say, all right, you finished seventh.
Well, hold on a minute. You've got to give some leeway to the fact that
Whoa.
when he walks in through the door, he's only going to have about six first team
you-
players left.
Well, right.
Don't
I'll
you
tell
think?
what.
Don't you think that needs to be taken into
No,
consideration?
don't. It's a cut.
Does it not?
So I tell you what, we finished sixth, right? We finished seventh, right? We finished 14th, and what do you
Yeah.
reckon? We're going to finish ninth,
Yeah.
right? We divide that by 4. That's a average of 9th.
Position is 9th.
So
yeah.
that's what I want, John. I'm going to be fair and say 9th. He's got to finish 9th or above next season to be measured as successful in my eyes. Harsh, maybe, but that's what I want.
I would taper that opinion and hold tight until you see what happens in the
So
transfer window. Because honestly, our squad is in a real shit state and it needs a complete rebuild.
So we've got Sean's in, John. So what are you looking for from Low-Puh-Teh-Gee?
I'd like him to finish top half, so top 10, which isn't far off what Sean is asking for. But I wouldn't be think it's a disaster if it's 12th, 13th. As long as we've had some good games and had a go at a cup or something. I would love.
What's having a go at a cup?
I don't know, quarterfinals, semi-finals. Semi-final would be brilliant, wouldn't it? I would love to win a cup, and I would. Give me. Well, try and qualify for you. That's always an aim, isn't it? But
I'm sorry, John. Do you know what you've just described?
What?
A David Moyes season.
No, you haven't, because
You have, John.
No,
You've
because-
just described
no, we haven't.
the
though,
cup
have we?
quarter final. You have. No, you've just described a David Moyes season. I don't mind finishing like 9th, whatever. Be good for that, and then I just want a cup run, like quarter final, semi final.
Try and win a cup, yeah.
Well,
Did he ever try and win a cup?
we won one,
Did
John.
no? Did it come on?
John.
Look at that! Look at that Liverpool game. Look at that Liverpool game.
Look, let's look at that Liverpool game. So he could have done better, yeah. I'd agree, yeah. But yeah, if he'd have put the first team out, would we have won the game? There's an argument to say, we might have lost 1-0, might have gone out on penalties or whatever. The manner of the defeat highlighted in a way what happened. But at the end of the day, we've gone out to the people that won the cup.
But
So
if
there's a lack of embarrassment there in going out in the quarter-final of a competition to the people that have won the trophy.
we have never won that cup,
No.
so he could have made history by concentrating on that cup. There was no way
Yes,
we were going to win
but-
the Europa League, was there?
But
Let's face it.
He was having, right, and this is the thing where I'm not, people confuse this, is me being devil's advocate, where I look at it and go, well, we're expecting him to go to Anfield, where everybody slags him off because he's never won there, where West Ham United have only won, I think, 4 times in our history, though it may be 5. Yeah? But that's it.
Yeah, but it's a team. But again, the team that Liverpool put out against our then playing really well Paquetá and Kudos and Bowens and whatever. I just and I know I understand what you're saying. the level of things and my expectations as levels that David Moyes has produced. But I also expect not to be watching the shit football that I've sat and watched this season. So I would accept those positions and the attempts at whatever's given to me. But if the football is more entertaining to watch week in, week out, I'm happy with it. Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard for the manager this season to produce it. He's got to basically start a whole new team. He's going to be like a whole team of strangers.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and that's the thing, I was being a bit facetious.
Well, I'm used to that.
In that, I think we've just got to let it play out. You know, he's not going to put his mark down in 1 or 2 transfer windows, is he?
No, it's going to be really hard.
So,
And I mean, you can look at it. I mean, there is the possibility that he might bring some of these youngsters through and put them in the squad. You know, the Skulls, people like that who always look to me when I've seen them, reckon he could step up and play understudy instead of buying players to sit behind
yeah, but it's
the players we've got.
The thing about youth, yeah, it is a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have to gamble on 2 or 3 of them this next season because we can't really replace the amount of players we need.
Well, funny, that's a great link, guys, right? So before we finish this one and do our prediction for City, before we move on to another episode for the question pod, let's start with you, John. What do you think we need? You've talked about the squad.
Have
got
you
a
put
new
a question
manager.
up, by the way?
Not yet. I'm just going to do it now.
All right.
What do you think we need, minimum, to rebuild that squad? Knowing that we're losing some homegrown players, knowing we're losing Johnson and Mbama and Cresswell, Ogbonna. Let's assume Agur goes as well. Let's assume Paquetá goes. And with the danger of making too much change. Let's start with you, John.
Well, are you
What do we need?
Without naming all the positions, we're going to need about, just for the first team, based on what the squad is now and the players we could lose and are likely to lose, he's going to need at least another 4 or 5 new players in that first team. That's quite a lot.
So where's the priority, though? That's really what I'm asking.
Well, you've got to say defensively.
Centre-backs.
Centre-backs, where are we going to have left? If Gerd goes,
Yeah.
if Bonner's let go, if, what's his name? Zuma.
Yeah.
There's another year on his dodgy knees.
Yeah, no, agreed. I agree. Centre-backs. How about the right-back position? With Cresswell going? Or would you bring in a...
Cresswell's left, didn't he? But
What do you mean left?
Cresswell's a left back, isn't he?
Yes, Chris.
Yes, he is a left back. He's for Emerson. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, there's talk of Emerson going. You know that? Have you seen that?
I don't think Emerson's going to go.
Paquetá goes.
There's talk of, I think it was Roma or someone.
Yeah, well, there's always a lot of stories.
But
How many games do you think Zuma's played this season?
I reckon he's done 30.
About 30.
I mean, 35?
What, all told, all comps, or just in the Premier League?
I think about 30 starts, all told. How many has he started? 37. How many did we play in total? Was it 52 or something?
That's a good question, actually.
It was quite a lot, wasn't it?
37, and then, so that's 37, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Yeah, you're looking about 54 games with the League Cup.
Yeah.
Right? So, he's actually got through quite a few games, Zuma.
Yeah. But he does always look like he's got something stuck up his back.
I think what it is that you can have you actually can play Zuma as long as he ain't got Ogbonna next to him.
Yeah.
So Ogbonna would be the natural replacement for Zuma. So if you was having 4 centre backs, what you would say you would either have a good Mavropanos with Zuma or with Ogbonna. you wouldn't
What-
necessarily play the two.
What
of
do you
them
think it
together.
is with Ogba, a Gerd? What do you think has been? Is he just not settled in England?
Yeah,
Is he-
that's what I think. Yeah, his agent seemed to want him out anyway.
I think the fact that Moyes has gone and he still wants out says it's more to do with the club than
yeah,
I
or the
don't know.
Premier League.
Or the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, Nigel, you're Tim Steiden.
Yep.
You've got 150 million.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we haven't said it already, Lopetegui is going to be head coach. Obviously, director of football, technical director is Tim Steiden, working together. Where's your priorities from,
My
mindful?
priority.
Yeah.
If I was Tim Steiden,
Yeah.
stop talking to journalists. That'd be my priority.
He won't have to anymore, will he?
Oh, Nigel playing games.
He's got it all now, hasn't he?
Well, at the end of the day, listen, it is what it is, isn't it? The club, I think we've said it in the past, even I've said it, that if there's a choice between Steiden and Moyes, it had to be Steiden.
Yeah.
Because he was the future of the club.
But
at some point...
They were singing his name. You've seen the video, have you, at the game? He was in the director's box.
Tim Steiden.
Tim Steiden was at the game.
Was singing whose name? What Moyes'
Tim
name?
Steiden's.
Oh, was he?
We've got Super Something Tim that we're singing,
Shut
and
up.
I'll send you the link. He was in the director's box. He put the thumb up when he heard them sing his name.
Yeah, that's that is terrible. If that's the case,
That is true. It's true
That is
story. I will send you the
absolutely
video.
terrible, because
But that's
no
the
director of football should have his name sung. Yeah.
that's the level of desperation within the fan base
Yeah.
for a change of direction.
Well,
We just
whatever.
don't
I
want
think it was
David Sullivan.
Super Timmy Steiden.
Well,
something
we
like
just
that.
don't want to go back to the Sullivan and the Salty and the whatever.
Salty did the deal, mate. Salty did the
Well,
old.
we all know what
Lopetegui
goes
deal.
on there.
Anyway, if I'm Steiden,
Yeah, if you're Steiden.
yeah.
Now, Vol.
So I might sack as well the kit man.
Why?
Why?
Go on.
Just for a laugh. You know what I mean? He just
Yeah.
likes to
Because you want the
just
job.
likes to blow up chaos.
You're gonna give it to Nigel Khan, are you?
Yeah, I would. I
Yeah.
would give it. Yeah.
Poor Pete.
And
Is
then
it Pete?
I'd see what happens.
Is it Pete?
But
the
I
kit
don't
man?
know. But anyway, after I've stopped talking to the press and sacked the kit man, hopefully I could go about my business without the world knowing what I get up to.
No, you've got agents to deal with. So
Oh right, yeah. But then I mean,
James. James is a kit man. James.
so
the
I
Baron.
would definitely be looking at the defence. At the end of the day, and this is the thing, I was trying to make this point on Carrot and Booze the night it all fucking went tits up.
Yeah.
Is this still is one of the best seasons we've had for scoring goals in
Yeah.
the Premier League. The problem is it's the worst ever season we've had at the back.
Yeah.
And
Unlike a David Moyes team, as he keeps on telling
well,
us.
yeah, but the funny thing about with it, where I do criticise David Moyes, is that you can't keep saying that because it obviously is your team. After the first time, you go, David Moyes' teams don't behave like that. Yeah, well, what about after the fifth time, Dave? That's the thing. I know people think I'm Moyes in because I got told that by someone at work who was at a party and bumped into a West Ham fan, and it turns out they listened to the podcast and watch YouTube, and took great delight on showing the bloke I work with videos of me.
You have been leaning. I mean, so have I. You have been leading more to Moyes in than Moyes out. I know there's always a label. Why can't you be one or the other? But it did turn into a very binary.
No, it did.
Kind
Yeah,
of,
apparently
you're
I
either in
weren't-
or you're out. You can't sit on the fence,
but,
right?
But the reason why I not appeared, I truly, Moyes is gone. That's it. Let's move on. We'll go to Lopetegui.
Well,
I'm not emotionally
he could be
attached
back.
to Moyes.
It's
I've
a
always
joke.
said this.
The joke. He could be back.
Well,
in
he
6
could.
months.
Well, so be it then. But what it is that I think when the narrative was just constant criticism,
Yeah.
and there was nothing, you have to be able to go, hold up a minute. It's easy to listen to the naysayers,
Yeah.
but it ain't all bad. When you're sitting where we were in the table, and a third top 10 finish. Look, the argument, and I can hear John, look, whatever, but this is what the argument's boiled down to. Because at the end of the day, we have scored more goals this season than many other Premier League seasons we've had in 30 odd years of the Premier League. What we're now arguing about is not how many goals we scored, but how did we bloody score them? And that's what the argument boils down to. The Moyes out brigade don't like the way we score goals.
What do you mean by that?
Well, because of the negative way he sets up. So a lot of our goals are scored on the breaking from deep, yeah? A lot of them are. So to do that, in a way, you have to defend deep, draw the opposition towards you and hit them behind on the pace. Now, as I said, I've shown it. This season, we've scored as many goals in the Premier League as we have in any other season. Not far off. So, but therefore, so if scoring goals ain't good enough for people, and you've got to admit that, John, this is part of it. If it ain't good enough for people, it must be the way we are scoring goals.
Well, it's not so. I wouldn't object to scoring less goals and having a better, entertaining game and winning games. So
Right,
that's also
I
achievable, isn't it?
Well, and this is where you do confuse me, where the devil in me goes, well, hold on a minute, yeah? Because would you prefer then to watch like Arsenal-type Man City football where they just keep the ball?
Nah, I don't really. Nah, that's
Right, so we
I
don't
find
want that.
I
yeah?
find that quite boring.
No,
yeah.
no, because so do I. Yeah, because we are the antithesis.
I like a
football.
mix. I like a mix. I like the Bilic games.
so-
I like the Bilic style,
Somewhere,
or even the Pardew style.
yeah.
But look,
I like a mix.
he is coming. Monsignor Source says he hopes that West Ham fans get behind the new manager, welcome him, and only judge him at the end of the season. That said, great welcome to the new manager. West Ham fans do a poll. West Ham say no to Lopetegui, right? 1,544.
Who did the poll, Sean?
A chap called Charlie Bass.
Oh, right.
Yeah, don't know who he is. But
His
started it.
brother's called Shandy.
All right. 1,544. The hilarious thing is 161 people have signed it this week, even after he signed. So there you go. I think AC Milan had say no to Low-Puh-Teh-Gee.
Their fan base started a hashtag #NoPuhTeh-Gee.
Low-Puh-Teh-Gee. Well, that's what it is. Low-Puh-Teh-Gee. Yeah.
They're ultras, yeah.
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 Oh,
So the ultras have been welcoming him. It wouldn't have mattered what the rest of the fan
And
base
I've
thought.
even seen, it might be jokes, some Low-Puh-Teh-Gee out hashtags on social media. You think, come on, guys, give it a rest. And are we just going to go straight into dividing people won't like his tactics, they won't like his signings. I mean, give the guy a break, right?
This
Give
is
him a
my
chance.
prediction, yeah.
Go on.
This is my prediction, yeah. If it don't go well,
Yeah.
he will get about all this. Let's hope he gets a given a year. That ain't gonna happen. Not in this day and age. No manager gets it. If he comes in and and we struggle and we're sitting in 13th or 14th spot and it don't look good or lower, I'm telling you, he will be getting pelters. He will be getting pelters off of the channels, off of here, or possibly on here. Who knows?
They won't sack him, no.
No, they won't sack him. No. But don't stop the negativity. The thing is now, there is, like Brexit, I can see it, like Brexit, where we've still got the Brexiteers, the hardline Brexiteers, and the hardline Remainers still want to clash, where everything that's wrong with the country is due to Brexit, which is obviously not the case, but that's how the Remainers want it. Well, this is how it's going to be, yeah? Because if Lopetegui struggles, and we are sitting low down, the ultra Moyes in crowd, of which I'm not one, yeah, will be sitting there going, told ya, be careful what you know. I'm telling you, that is what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, it's
You
without a
can
doubt.
see it, and that's the way it's going to play out.
Especially if he turns out to be the Spanish David Moyes.
Yeah.
Then then we might as well all just pack up and go home, and we.
Well,
know what I mean?
if he's a Spanish David Moyes, yeah, but actually he's lower down the table and shit are in the cups.
Yeah.
You know. Because
Anyway,
I still think Moyes could have been worth. No.
Choosing
It's not that. I still think Moyes would have been worth one more season, just to see if without European football he could repeat what he did in the one season.
Nigel, let's have some closure here. The king is dead.
Yeah,
Long
no.
live the king.
Oh, yeah, but I'm still entitled to say I still think they could have.
I have
just
moved
to
on.
See
Do you think then that you would be happy giving David Moyes 150 million this summer to rebuild the squad?
That's one thing I wouldn't have been happy with. I would have done him a new deal, but made him head coach and allowed.
And I suspect that's the deal he was offered in January.
You might have
and
been
didn't,
right in February.
didn't sign.
Yeah. No, you might
whatever.
be right there, John.
I mean, the
Yeah.
terms
No, I
got
wouldn't.
changed on him.
There's no way if I'm giving a manager a 1 year extension, he's getting to spend all the money.
Yeah.
And,
No, I wouldn't
and
do it.
replenish the squad that he's. If
Yeah,
this is
no.
his squad, it's 4 years on. And
Oh, you say it's his squad, and there is a funny thing to it, right? Get this, yeah. So when you say it's his squad, yeah, he didn't sign Fabianski, he didn't sign Creswell,
no,
he didn't
But
sign.
he chose
Antonio.
to. He chose to over the last 4 years to keep these players and not.
Do you know what
replace
I'd
them.
argue? I'd argue.
Oh, of
because
course you'd
how quick
argue,
it
just
happened.
'cause you
No,
like to argue.
He didn't sign Bowen or Souček.
Do you not
Yeah.
think Bowen? He's been highly credited with Bowen, isn't he?
Yeah, but he only came in, yeah, and 3 weeks later we signed Bowen. What? It was done that quick?
Oh, I thought he was.
Nah.
He was the more sized big success.
Nah, not having that. I'll tell you that now.
Well.
Especially not Souček. Are you telling me he scouted Souček in 2 weeks?
The all of
I
the
think they were coming already.
the likelihood of all of the players that have come and gone. We all know that he's had a stop on quite a few players over the time.
The only
And
reason
he's-
I point at them two is because they turned up so quick after he joined the club. There's no way on this earth, with what we know behind the curtain, the way transfers are done, there's no one on this earth West Ham moved that quick.
Well, you
No
can't,
way.
and you can't underestimate
And-
the positive effect that Souček and Soufal had when they joined the club as well.
Yeah.
And it's worth mentioning about that because we didn't do the manager one overnight, and we did sort of touch on this on the outside broadcast. But Low-Puh-Teh-Gee has been chased for months, right? It was led by Tim Steiden. Tim Steiden did the due diligence. He sat down with him, met him multiple times. I do hate where a lot of the crap was going. Oh, Almiron was Steiden and Mark Noble's choice, and David Sullivan only did the deal because of Salthouse had him free. Now, this is someone they chased for a long time. They did a lot of due diligence. Yes, David Sullivan rung up the directors at Wolves, and they gave him a glowing reference, actually. I think they took their time, and isn't it refreshing that West Ham actually had the foresight to actually do their due diligence rather than, and we know David Sullivan does this, wait until the end of the season and go, oh, there are no managers available.
Let's just really hope that we've got some semblance of professional control and running of the football club coming.
I mean, the
Let's
thing about
hope.
Low-Puh-Teh-Gee was highly rated coach in Europe before he went to Wolves. When he turned up at Wolves, a few people were like, blimey, he's walked into a club at the bottom of the Premier League.
Yeah.
When actually, it only had been, when you look at the clubs he'd been at and everything, Seville were a team, top 6 team in Spain, that he took the third. He continued what Unai Emery had took on. And he continued and actually improved what Unai Emery. Though it is interesting to see that some team like Seville he improved already good though, isn't it? So the groundwork was there. So we
Did
look
you
at
see-
what he did with Wolves.
Did you see that was it the Hammers Network who had Guillaume Balaguer on there?
That
Yeah.
was Anton, yeah.
That's
Yeah, but take that with a pinch of salt.
Best
Guillaume
friend.
Balaguer,
Yeah.
best mates with Julian Lopetegui, yeah. So
But he did, I agree. But
that's
some
like
of
asking Barry Silkman, what does he think of Dave Sullivan? Yeah.
but it was like some of the context that he put in about, what happened to him with Spain,
Yeah.
that is likely to be true, that everyone knew about it or whatever, and whatever. It's just this bloke thought, no, I ain't having
Look,
it.
we've seen how the Spanish FA behave, yeah. Already, that half of them had to be sacked after the Women's World Cup and everything there. That's the Spanish FA. The strange thing is that he then went to Real Madrid and it nosedived. What did he have, 3 months at Real Madrid? Now to get rid of him?
14 games or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Got rid of by Spain because he was already signing contracts with Real Madrid, and they thought
Yeah.
it was a conflict of interest.
yeah.
Have you, before we go, and we do the question pod, Nigel, I know this is one of your mates. Have you read The Long Goodbye, A Tale of Two Davids by your friend Pink Palermo on Come?
No.
You need to read it. You'll find it very interesting.
All right.
He suggests that David Sullivan could be off. He even suggests that Brady could be off and replaced by someone. So it's quite a long read. But he's a mate of yours, isn't he, Pink Palermo?
I know, yes.
Yeah. There you go.
It'd be nice to think that's true.
By the way, if you ever go to KUMB, whatever you do, don't miss off the B, because you learn the hard way. Okay. As I did recently.
Right, yeah.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
That reminds me of the story when my father-in-law, bless him, we told him if he could have a look at my website that was on GoDaddy, and he put in BigDaddy.com.
Yeah.
And a totally different type of, and he was a bit flummoxed looking at it and thinking, oh, what's Nigel doing here?
Yeah. One
And
letter
my wife-
can mean all the
Yeah,
thing.
my wife had to explain to him, no, it's GoDaddy.
Yeah, 1 or 2 letters can mean all the thing in the internet world. Right, let's do predictions. Our last prediction of the season. Nigel, City away.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I know you are. You're going to be there. Well done.
Yeah. 4-0?
To West Ham.
No, obviously not.
Okay. John.
Yes, 4-1 to City. Bowen's going to score his goal. You want him
Oh, I
so
love that.
desperately to get.
Well, I'm not going to be brave enough to go for 1-1 win, but I will go for 1-1 and gift Declan Rice his Premier League medal. That's what I'm going to go for. A very, very late draw. There'll be 1-0 up, and on will come, I don't know, Ogbonna on his last game ever for West Ham and score an equaliser and ruin City's season. There, that's my prediction. All to play for. We'll talk next week. We met Phil Walker at the outside broadcast. He's still in the lead of the Super Six, but we'll give a Super Six roundup next week to see who the winner is. And I'm sure Nigel will sort out a prize. I've been Sean. Nigel has been.
I'd like to wish everyone a happy Steve Gerrard ruined my nephew's birthday in 2016.
Okay. And John has been.
Didn't he ruin most of our days?
Yeah, but
It's your birthday. Yeah, well, it's your birthday.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, there you go. We'll be back. This is episode 56. We'll be back for question time probably 24 hours after you've listened to this one for 57. Until then, come on, you.
I better qualify that by saying, happy birthday, Bill. I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, come on, you Irons. Happy birthday, Bill.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.